not to take it, could you, darling? Not wild mink, now could you? I mean, apart from it being insured for £3,000.
£3,000?
Yes, dear, £3,000. I'm sure it's got a sentimental value as well.
I take it you're staying the weekend. Did you bring a bag?
When you're addressing me, I prefer the word suitcase. Now, what are you going to do with me until Hillary arrives tomorrow? Play Scrabble?
But you can't spell, can you? But if that's what you'd like...
No, it's not. I'd like a good dinner with a bottle of something very expensive and preferably fizzy.
Then I'll take you over to the Horse and Groom. It's not far and it's not bad.
How delicious. I shall enjoy having a gorgeous dinner with you again, darling. Will there be lovely soft lighting, do you think?
Oh, now, Hattie, don't be outrageous. There's that bird again.
You know, I think it's flown here straight from the Savoy.
No, just get your silly hat and come on, let's change.
Get my shoes, will you, darling?
Yes, well, oh, yeah. Anyway, the fact remains that my world goes round only because of her. She's the focal point of my existence. Everything I've done or accomplished, which doesn't amount to much, I dare say, has either been for her or on account of her. We've been friends as well as lovers. But if I sing in my bath, it's because I know I'm going to have breakfast with her. Without her, I don't say I'd be lost, but I certainly wouldn't be very clear in my mind which way to turn.
Well, tell her that. Discuss the situation. Talk the whole thing over.
Ah, it's fatal, Hattie. The spoken word, like the lost opportunity, doesn't come back. When a situation like this is admitted out loud, it means it's been accepted. If it's accepted, it's got to be discussed. But each time you discuss it, you get further apart until in the end you're so far away from each other you have to shout, and the whole thing becomes hopeless. She knows that as well as I do.
Well, then do as I say. Just be gentle, kind, and understanding.
Thank you, Hattie. I will if I can. But first, I've got to get Mr. Bloody Delacroix out of her heart, out of her mind, and out of the country.
And how do you propose to do that?
I don't know. I wish I did. All I know is that she'll turn up tomorrow as bright as a button, with her suitcase in one hand and her sacrifice in the other. And she'll be coming back not for me, but because of the children. Well, as far as I'm concerned, that's insufficient reason. I want her back because she wants to come back to me.
Or not at all?
Yes, I think that's right. Or not at all.
That's selfish, short-sighted, and very stupid.
Perhaps, but I know my limitations. I couldn't live with Hillary watching her longing for someone else. I couldn't face the humiliation of the dressing room. I couldn't stand a polite, second-best, forlorn sort of life, patiently waiting the dawn of indifference. Not for me, Hattie, thank you very much, not for me. Besides...
Besides what?
Well, she might come back here, eat her heart out for a while, and then run off again. That well-known little note that she couldn't stand it any longer, and an airline ticket to romantic places and the other man. There's no guarantee that won't happen.
Well, then you'd marry me at last, and we'd live happily ever after.
No, if I'm going to preserve our marriage, and I don't mean a patched-up bargain for the sake of the children, then something's got to be done. And very soon. Now, come on, let's go. Oh, Mary, give me the bill, will you, please?
You're not going to drink that?
Well, evidently not.
I have a horrible feeling you're plotting something not to do with me, which couldn't be more disappointing.
I've just got a horrible feeling.
I'm thirsty.
Well, make one of those pink things. Now, burn the Angostura.
Yeah, but I haven't got any matches.
Oh. Huh. Temple Bar, 4343, please. In London.
But that's a Savoy.
Easy number to remember, isn't it?
But what are you going to do?
I'm going to talk to Charles Delacroix if I can. If he's not there, I'll leave a message.
Well, what sort of message?
An invitation. Hello? Is that the Savoy? I want to speak to Charles Delacroix, please. No. D. Delacroix. That's right. Oh, this is Rock Hudson calling. Yeah. Thanks a lot. That's the only way you can get service out of telephone operators these days. Hello. Is this Charles Delacroix?
Yes, speaking. Who's that?
This is Victor Ryle.
Victor.
How are you?
Well, I'm just fine.
I must apologize for giving you such short notice, but my wife and I wondered if you'd care to come down for the weekend.
How dare he?
Why, yes, I think I'd like that very much.
You must be out of your mind.
Shut up and go and sit down. Well, that's splendid. My wife would be delighted. It'll be very quiet, I'm afraid. Just ourselves and a rather boring friend of Hillary's who drinks gin all day.
What was that?
Oh, it must have been some interference on the line.
Oh. Well, yes, I'll look forward to that.
Oh, there is interference on the line.
It's an electrical disturbance, I guess.
Now bring a rod and we'll frighten some fish.
All right. About what time?
Oh, any time after lunch.
Fine.
Oh, just a second. I've just had a thought. My wife is coming down tomorrow.
Oh, has she been away?
Yes, she's been in London all the week.
Has she really?
I wonder if you'd be very kind and give her a lift.
Why, sure, I'd be delighted.
Oh, that is good of you.
Not at all. I welcome it.
Well, then may I tell her to get in touch with you at the Savoy?
I wish you would. It'll be a pleasure.
Until tomorrow.
Until tomorrow.
You hurt me just then.
He must be barking mad.
You must be barking mad.
He's not barking mad.
I'm not barking mad.
That gives him another 48 hours with her.
Gives me another 48 hours with you.
He thought of that before he accepted.
Thought of that before I accepted.
I think the whole thing will be rather fun.
The whole thing's going to be absolute torture.
Hello, how are you?
Never better, thank you.
I see you've got in touch with each other. How nice. I missed you terribly, darling. But your letters were such a help. You know she wrote me twice a day?
Did she really?
Oh, Hattie. Hattie, this is Charles Delacroix. No one calls her anything but Hattie except at her bank, where they call her Mrs. Durrant.
How do you do, Mr. Delacroix? I've heard such a lot about you.
How do you do?
Oh, Hill, darling.
Hello, darling.
Were you warm enough without your coat, dear?
Yes, thank you, darling.
Well, come on in. This is the stage door, so you won't have to pay a half-crown at the box office. If we're having trout for dinner, we better get cracking. How long will it take you to change?
About 5 minutes.
Good, I'll show it to your room. Oh, Sellers, bring Mr. Delacroix's bags as soon as you can.
Yes, my lord.
Oh, and Sellers, tell Mrs. Bagshot to help you open a few of the public rooms for this evening.
Very good, my lord.
Darling, I thought we'd splurge and dress up a bit for our visitor tonight. We can afford that once in a while, can't we?
Yes.
Cuckoo.
Well, come on.
Nice of you to invite me down here this weekend. I'm enjoying it.
Oh, I'm glad you like it.
Beautiful place you have. I envy you.
You ought to have one of your own.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it. You fish here often?
Oh, yes. I know these waters as well as I know my own wife. I seem to have said that before.
Yes, you did, about Josh Peters. You said he much preferred it, too.
Oh, yes, yes. But his wife's so tall and rather stupid. What kind of line do you use?
It's an American line. I've been using it all my life.
Had good luck with it?
Not too bad. Of course, one gets away now and then. I hate that.
Well, now, the wind's a little tricky on this side, so I suggest since you're the guest, you'd better fish over there.
Oh, thanks.
You're perfectly welcome. Bear to your left.
How's that?
I said bear to your left.
About here?
That's right.
Right? Whoop. Whoop.
Oh, that's very funny. If I'd known he was going to do that, I'd have put a hole in his waders.
What's that?
I said I hope you haven't got a hole in your waders.
Oh, no. Dry as a bone.
I beg your pardon?
I say dry as a bone. Sure. He's not only stupid, he's deaf.
He's not only deaf, he's stupid. Oh, not there. Mind the deep hole.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
I say mind the deep... Just a moment, I'll come over there.
What were you trying to tell me?
Mind the deep hole. Mind the music and the step, and will the girls be handy? Yankee Doodle came to London riding on a pony, stuck a feather in his hat and called it macaroni. Yankee Doodle came to town, Yankee Doodle dandy, stuck a feather in his